Thank you, Rebecca. Members and guests, who would have thought when we were left here after lunch on the 6th of February last year that it would be 398 long days before we reconvened, as Rebecca said, to break bread together. So welcome back. Life as we know it has changed, and we have adapted extremely well under these trying COVID times. Our industry has not only survived, it has performed strongly, especially in Australia and Victoria, as you will learn shortly from our panel. To provide some perspective, over the last year, the gold price in US dollars has risen about 15%, and in August last year hit an all-time high. Copper was a star, up more than 40% over the past year, while iron ore rocketed more than 60%, silver up more than 50%, and nickel more than 40%. And we in Australia and Victoria were well placed to deliver. While the general public may not be fully aware of what happened within our industry when COVID struck, it is no secret within this room that our industry moved quickly to work with governments, the Victorian Government, the Australian Government, and even National Cabinet, to show the way in COVID workplace safety. As a result, the minerals and energy industry, for the most part, continued to operate and deliver to the Victorian and Australian economies. With the MCA and APPEA at the helm, our industry developed and implemented a set of science-based health and hygiene protocols. It was a relatively smooth, swift and effective implementation process signed off by the industry, the unions and our governments, including the Victorian Government. On that note, as Rebecca mentioned, Victoria's Resources Minister, Jacqueline Symes, was hoping to join us here today, but the extra duties in being named as Attorney General called louder. I expect we will see her here in the near future. So what was delivered by an industry that continued to operate within a pandemic? Lots. The Australian Bureau of Statistics tells us that within a pandemic, the Australian resources industry delivered record revenues for iron ore, gold and copper in 2020. We injected $270 billion into the Australian economy, 62% of our nation's total export revenue. Iron ore, for example, broke the $100 billion mark for the first time. Gold, a growing sector of our industry in Victoria, as we will hear shortly, registered a record $27 billion in exports in 2020. Copper export revenue rose to a record $10.4 billion, and in not too many years from now, let us hope Victoria can also be counted as a genuine copper producer. And I see that Chris Cairns of Staveley Minerals is here today, and his company has a very exciting copper play here in Victoria. Members and guests, ours is a substantial industry by any measure. 240,000 people are directly employed in our industry, and when you combine direct and indirect employment, including our valued Mets, the figure rockets to 1.1 million jobs in Australia. We have much to be proud of as we enter a new normal, and there is much to do in Victoria, in Australia and internationally. Welcome back, and congratulations to all of you for the role you have played in keeping our economies in good shape. Members and guests, I'll climb off my soapbox now, don my mask and return to my seat. But I promise you that beneath my mask, there'll be a smile as big as the entrance to Luna Park. Enjoy your lunch, and Rebecca will be back in 30 minutes or so. Thank you.